Hey there, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stefan. I've been coming to Thailand since 2018 and I now live here. So Thailand is a very tourist-friendly country, right? And Bangkok is consistently ranked the most visited city in the entire world. And with that comes a bunch of scammers, right? To take advantage of that. And Thailand is more than worth visiting, so I don't want you to fall for these scams and ruin your vacation. But I do want you to come visit Thailand. So, after this video, you will know exactly what to anticipate with the most common scams, and you'll know what to do. So, without further ado, let's get into these scams. So the first scam that you might encounter is probably the taxi scam. So, you might be coming to Suvarnabhumi Airport, which is the international airport of Bangkok, Thailand. And you get out on the second floor at arrivals and you want to get a cab. Well, the first person that approaches you might be a scammer. We'll see. But if a tote approaches you and says, "Oh, center of the city, 1,000 baht, let's go." That's maybe about 5 times the normal price. So you should go to the first level of Suvarnabhumi Airport, where there are public taxis that are metered by law, and the journey should cost about in total 200 baht, including the toll expressway, which you will have to pay and you will get a receipt for. So always ask for the meter, and even though it's a law, it is not followed. This is Thailand, that's what they say. So what if the driver refuses to turn on the meter? Well, that doesn't really happen from the first floor of the airport since it's so regulated at that point. It can be overseen by law enforcement. But if you're already in Bangkok, say, and you're in a touristy area, it's very common to find a taxi that's often idle by the side of the road where a lot of tourists will pass by. And they'll be there specifically to use this scam. And they will have a fixed rate for traveling to a certain place. And that fixed rate will always, trust me, always be higher than the metered rate. So you always need to ask them to turn on the meter. Just say in Thai, "Meter cup," and they will understand. Sometimes they will try to talk you out of it, be sneaky. Don't trust it. Have them turn on the meter or get out of the cab, get out of the taxi, get a new one, an honest one. But it's kind of hard to find sometimes in a very touristy area where they have their taxis set up like that, idle, ready to scam tourists. Because if they can't scam you, they can probably scam some other newly arrived tourist. So you've been warned. Please follow that advice. And even if they do turn on the meter, you might not be out of the woods yet, because they have something called, I don't know what it's called, but it's actually just a faster meter. It'll be about 5 times faster than the normal meter. So the way you find out, that one should be ticking quite slowly, a baht now and then, right? But if you notice the meter starts ticking 2 baht every couple of seconds, then you have an extra fast meter. This is something that they can trigger the taxi driver, and obviously a scam. So for reference, a short journey of like 5 kilometers should cost about 50 baht. Easy to remember, right? Or 10 kilometers should be no more than 100 baht. So if it's ticking much more than that, then you have this fast meter scam going on. But even if the meter is on and running correctly, you might still get scammed, believe it or not. So this is common all over the world. So I've been to more than 40 countries and I've seen it a bit of everywhere, right? Taxi drivers want to make money. They will take a scenic route, maybe drive you to some place that's completely unnecessary, like a big detour. It'll add time and money to your trip completely unnecessarily. Sometimes they actually know better routes to take to avoid traffic and stuff, but believe me, they can do some really obviously bad detour shenanigans, right? So watch out for that, the detour scam. Now, taxis aren't super expensive compared to the West, right? So it's not always the biggest deal. If it's a legitimate taxi using the legitimate meter, a little detour isn't the end of the world. But adding up all these things, they're just trying to milk you for money. It's a scam. It's not okay. Another kind of universal scam that happens all over the world, but obviously happens in Thailand as well, especially in the most touristy areas, is the wrong change scam. So if you pay by cash, which is admittedly getting less and less common now, even in Thailand, so that's cool. They use this kind of scan thing with their phones, QR codes, called prompt pay and similar. So that's really good. But when you use cash, say you give them 1,000 baht for something that costs 100 baht, you're supposed to get 900 baht. So 9 bills of 100. Well, sometimes they'll give you 8 or whatever. It looks like a lot of bills, that's fine. But always, always count the bills, okay? Because that is too common. So sometimes when you're about to go to a bus station or a train station and you're approaching it, right? You're about to take your bus or train, go somewhere else in Thailand, maybe you're leaving Bangkok or something. People might approach you, maybe wearing a vest saying, oh, Thailand Tourism Authority or something, which is, a lie. People will not do that. Just keep walking into the station, get to your train or bus, okay? Because there are people who will try to divert you and say, oh, no, sorry, the ride is full, but I can solve that for you. We have these extra buses or whatever, right? Just come with me and ride with that one instead. And then they'll demand some exorbitant amount of money. Obviously, it's just scam you because that's what they're there for. So often the rule of thumb is keep walking. So on that theme, when you go to, say, the Grand Palace or some famous tourist attraction around the world, but now we're focusing on Bangkok, Thailand, you come to the Grand Palace. Outside, outside, someone will stand there and say, oh no, I'm sorry, it's closed. It's a national holiday, or it's the king's birthday. I don't know. They'll come up with things. Well, it is the king's birthday once a year, but he won't close this tourist attraction anyway. It's a lie. It's a scam. Keep walking. So always just go to the attraction, ask someone official, is it open? Yeah, okay, here's the ticket price, pay, and then let's go. Keep walking. And so in Thailand, it is very common to rent a motorbike, and many people do it even just with their passport. I recommend you have a translated driver's license from your home country, unless it's English, I guess. I'm Swedish, so I had to do it. But you can rent one with just your passport. And that's just for them to identify you. Don't leave your passport in deposit for the bike, okay? Don't do it. Because if they lose it, that's a serious consequence for you as a traveler for the rest of your trip. And also, if they are running a scam, and you never know, they might hold your passport hostage, so to speak, in order to leverage the scam. So never do that. Show them your passport, but keep your passport. If they need a deposit something else, maybe a sum of money or something. And when you see the motorbike, you need to take lots of pictures. This is also true all over the world. But always, when you're renting something, document it well, because it's quite common to encounter this scam where there will be, hey, there's a damage here. That wasn't there before, when in actuality, yeah, it was. And you have it documented in your phone, so you'll be safe. So a very common scam in touristy areas is just people walking around in touristy areas or standing around and then reaching out to you, being overly friendly. You know, Thailand is the land of smiles. I love to smile, that's why I belong here, but people can be disingenuous, and people will be like salesmen. They will manipulate you, they will, you know, build rapport. They'll get you to trust them more and more, be more personal, appeal to your emotions, and then kind of analyze you and see what type of person is this? How can I manipulate you? And then they'll identify what type of person you are, and then they know, because they've crafted this very well, they know how to manipulate you into doing things and buying things and, you know, overpriced and, you know, but you have this emotional connection, right? You don't want to let this person down because they're so nice to you. They're smiling, they're helping you, you know. But in actuality, in a lot of tourist areas, you know, this might be false friendliness. I'm sorry to say, but just be aware of that. Don't be too naive. And also don't be suspicious of everyone, but just keep it in the back of your mind, okay? So you'll be fine. And speaking of befriending you and building rapport, emotional connection, Westerners do this too. So you'll have the Westerner scam, maybe someone in distress, maybe they say, well, first they build a rapport, right? Yada, yada, yada. And then they'll hit you with a question like, oh yeah, there's this one thing, right? I really need to get home to my family and you know, something happened or whatever. But I just can't afford the flight home. Could you help me out with a flight ticket? Or, you know, oh, I lost my wallet. Could you please help me out? And yeah, you built this rapport, right? And you feel bad and oh, you might be inclined to help them. But you'd be surprised. Sometimes these people, they'll be like, English teacher or working expats in Thailand, and they want more money, or they're using this scam to just finance their fun and travel. Just don't do it. And also recently, at least this is something I haven't really noticed back in 2018 or like in my earlier parts of travel, is these backpackers from the West. They're just young people, backpackers like normal, like I've been when I was young. They beg. They're just beggars in the street, and they'll beg tourists, especially, for money. And sometimes they're not in need of money. Sometimes they don't have a lot of money. But is that really a dignified way of earning money for backpacking? I don't know. Do some hitchhiking or something adventurous and cool. Don't be a beggar. Come on now. So, you're going on a tour in Thailand. That's amazing. Many tours are amazing. Some tours are dishonest, tour companies, I should say. You should always ask what's included in the price before you go on the tour. Say you're going on an island tour, which is very common and really awesome to do in Thailand. Do that, by the way. Say you're in Krabi, you're going to Railay Beach or some cool islands, or yeah, just do it. It's amazing. But just keep this in mind. Say they take you to an island. Yeah, you're in the middle of nowhere. You got there by boat. You can't really escape. And now you have all these extra fees you have to pay. Oh, for this activity, you need to pay this fee. For entrance to this, you need to pay that fee. And sometimes it's legitimate, but they just didn't tell you. They kind of withheld the information. So they have a lower price for the tour itself, but then the total goes up to a lot more. So that happens. Just keep that in mind. And the antidote is just ask them, what is included in this tour? Tell me exactly, including all the fees and activities and everything. And sometimes they'll take you to a factory or like a vendor. People will try to sell you things all the time. They'll really see you as a walking ATM, which can be lucrative for people in the tourist industry sometimes. But yeah, let's not give our Western earned money to the disingenuous. Let's give it to those who have earned it who provide value, and who are awesome, which is almost all of the Thai people. All right, you've been exploring Thailand, right? Time to go to a bar or a restaurant, have some drinks, food, nice. And then the bill comes. Maybe there's something extra on the bill. Say you had 2 beers or 1 beer, and now there's 3 beers on the bill. Oh, that could be an honest mistake, right? Could be, in some cases. Not that often, but sometimes. But your friend got their bill, and oh, there's an extra beer on that one too. Wow, what a coincidence, right? Oh, waitress or waiter might come over and say, yeah, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me fix that for you. And then we'll actually just do it. They'll go back, print a new one, fixed, all good. But the intention there, trying to pad the bill, trying to add things to the bill, again, disingenuous. I don't like it. Don't like the principle. So people will try to scam you that way too. Just be on the lookout for it. Just check your bill. That's an easy one. You won't really encounter it that much, but if you're in a super touristy area with lots of people, lots going on, hustle and bustle, you might forget that extra beer and they will have scammed you on it. And it's not the end of the world, like it's $2, right? But just don't get scammed. That's much better. So when it comes to nightlife in Thailand, you may have heard about the ping pong show. This is a juicy one. I don't know if you've heard about it, but I'll just let you find out by yourself. However, don't do it down a dark alley. That sounds obvious, but away from the tourist area, so to speak. Maybe some toad will approach you in the nightlife scene and say, hey, come over to my bar. I'll show you a ping pong show. And you're like, first time tourist in Thailand? What's a ping pong show? Maybe I've heard about it, maybe not. I really want to check it out. Okay, let's go with the toad. But don't do it. Don't go away from the main areas. Just keep to the safe, official places. Most are honest. They're running a game, but it's, you know what it is. But this one, if they manage to lead you away from the path, they might rack up a crazy bill. Maybe they do have a legitimate ping pong show. Enjoy it. But maybe you had a couple of beers and then you have a bill of like 10,000 Thai baht. Oh, that's a little bit more than I was hoping for. So you're like either negotiating it down or heading for the exit, right? But at the exit might be 2 muscled dudes preventing you from leaving, and you're away from the tourist trail, right? So what you gonna do? You're probably gonna have to pay the bill. So watch out for that. That's unfortunately quite common. Just don't do that. So I guess the rule of thumb there is don't go with totes or people who just approach you away from touristy areas and try to divert you somewhere. A lot of the times that's scams. So keep walking. Enjoy Thailand. Do not let these scams ruin your trip in any way. All I want to say is don't be too naive. Keep this knowledge that you have in the back of your head, in the back of your mind. Go to Thailand, enjoy this lovely country for what it is, and don't get scammed. And, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have the best time in Thailand. It's truly amazing.